Good morning, children.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, beta. Good morning. Good morning. Rinrit, what happened, beta? Okay, good. So whatever we read yesterday, was that all clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Any doubts with that? Anybody has any doubts with that?
No, ma'am.
Sure. So today we have to start from
Duration. Page 26.
page 26. Oh, guys. Hi. Welcome to the class, children. Nice.
Yes, ma'am.
Nice, no? Keep your cameras on. Yeah, we have to start from page number
26.
26.
26. Duration.
Just a minute. I'll just plug in the audio. Kids, are you liking a new class? How's the interior?
Ma'am, old is gold.
Oh, कौन है old is gold?
Ma'am, why is me Arab Singh? Ma'am, ma'am, why Windows do not have view?
What?
Why Windows do not have view in this?
Okay, Windows are supporting this.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, actually, my camera is on, but I'm not visible in the screen.
I don't know why, beta.
Come same with me.
Are you are visible, Sarthak?
I can see both of
Prerna
them.
is not.
I am looking like a ghost.
Ma'am, can you add us again?
Guys, am I audible to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So I'm asking, do we have to begin with significance of panchayat, right?
Ma'am, duration.
Duration. Duration on page number 26.
Duration of panchayat. Fine. Chalo. Right. See, I think ये तो हमने पढ़ ही लिया था that a panchayat is elected for how many years?
5 years.
5 years.
5 years.
Panchayat is elected for 5 years,
5 years.
right?
5 years.
Yes. Okay. And it may be dissolved on account of inefficiency and mismanagement. हम inefficiency और mismanagement के account पे इस पंचायत को dissolve भी कर सकते हैं, right? We can even dissolve it. Okay.
मैम तो अगर वो पंचायत ढंग से काम नहीं कर रही है और हमें
What
सुविधाएं
is this
प्रोवाइड नहीं कर रही है
language
तो हम
ढंग
उसे
से?
बंद कर
What is this language ढंग से? Speak in English. Ma'am, if the panchayat is not working properly and so
मैम
on and on.
it is not working properly and is not providing us the requirements, ma'am, so we can remove the panchayat.
Yeah.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, if a specific person in the panchayat is not working efficiently,
See,
so
basically
then
what
they can
happens is
remove.
it is not like you can just go tomorrow and you can just dissolve the panchayat. No, there's a certain process of it. Usually it has never happened because the people who are elected to the panchayat are very trustworthy people, right? Like the people are more connected to the panchas if we ask about the mayors and all, because a village is a smaller area, right? And people are like mostly the people who are very the elderly, and the most trustable people, they are selected for this post. And if we feel that they are not working properly, then they need to have proof for that. And then the DC, the district, collectorate, and these people come and check whether the punches are doing their work efficiently or not. And if they will find any error in that, then yes, they can remove them and they can appoint anybody else. And the best part about this thing that their duration is 5 years, that if you feel that they're not working properly, the next will not vote for them. So removing and all is not an option here, because हमें पता है कि ठीक है, if they'll not work, they have to be removed after the next 5 years. Because of this fear only, these people work. They really work. Because they know if they'll not fulfill the needs of the people, then they won't be staying here for long.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, do many villages form block committee or many village panchayats form block committee?
Many village panchayats.
Okay.
ठीक है? चलिए. So, yeah, the panchayat may be dissolved on account of inefficiency in mismanagement, but a new panchayat must be elected within 6 months of the dissolution of the previous panchayat. जो आपने पंचायत हटाई उसे हटाने के 6 months के अंदर ही हमें दूसरी नई पंचायत को elect करना पड़ता है, right? And the new panchayat will work for the remaining period out of the 5-year term, right? And so, for example, 2 years के बाद हमने जो पंचायत currently serve करी थी उसको हटा दिया है, we removed it and we have appointed after the 6 months we have elected a completely new panchayat. Now that panchayat which has been elected after 2 years, then that panchayat will rule only for 3 years, right? The remaining 3 years, and after that a new panchayat will be elected. Who is speaking in between?
Ma'am, can the same panchayat be elected for the second time?
Anji. I didn't understand what I saying, Akshay.
Ma'am, can the for the second time can the same panchayat be elected for
Yeah,
the second
exactly. Just like the same party is being ruling year and year. You can always, they're working well, they can be elected again. Okay. Now we have to study about the functions of the village panchayat, right? What are the functions which this village panchayat do? First is essential or compulsory functions which they have to do, right? There are no ifs and buts. They're supposed to do this and they have to do these functions, right? And the second are optional or voluntary functions, which means if they want to, then they can do it, or if they don't want, they can skip it. मतलब they should do it, but it's not compulsory. Okay, just like our constitution has fundamental rules, right? And then directive principles. अब जो मैं fundamental duties हो तो हमें follow करनी ही पड़ती है, right? But the directive principles of the state policy, अब जैसे fundamental rights हैं वो तो enforceable by law है. Everybody deserves to have them, right? But the directive principles of state policy, they can be followed, they can not be. अगर आप वो नहीं भी follow कर रहे हो तो आप पे कोई ऐसे case raise नहीं हो पाएगा, right? Now essential और voluntary functions में क्या आता है? Essential और compulsory functions सबसे पहले आता है हमारे पास construction repair of the village roads and waterways. गाँव की जितनी भी roads हैं, जो भी waterways हैं, constructing them, preparing them, repairing them, planting of trees, construction and repair of village wells and tanks, provision of light on roads and streets, right? Even the village roads and streets must have street lights, right? And provision of clean drinking water. It is the duty of the panchayat to ensure that they are providing the people of their area clean drinking water, right? Because it again eliminates the possibility of diseases, right? Okay. Next could be next is that the main sanitation and public health. We all have seen that movie Toilets, right? How important it is for the government to ensure that there are proper sanitation facilities in the villages. Maintenance of public places, cleanliness of public streets. Abhi yesterday only would have you will see like no, our mayor has gone to civil lines and he had been cleaning the roads and the temples. He's been doing it by all by himself, right? So such things are supposed to be done by the sarpanches and the panches too. They have to like they don't have to go and clean it by themselves, but they should ensure that these areas are being cleaned properly, right? Proper cleanliness is there on the public streets. Collection of friends, right? शौर्य त्यागी, where are you distracted बेटा? उधर ही बातें, अरे आज क्लास नहीं है तो घर पे बातें हो रही हैं. वाओ, very good शौर्य. Today you
My
don't have
jacket is
anything to talk in the
activated.
class, you're talking at home. किससे
Ma'am,
बातें
excuse
कर रहे
me.
हो भाई?
Ma'am, excuse me.
Wait, let me talk to शौर्य first. Yes शौर्य. इतना मिस करे बेटा क्लास, कोई घर पे बातें करना शुरू कर दी? हाँ जी, who was speaking? Somebody was
Ma'am,
saying.
Bhavya.
हाँ
My jacket is
Ma'am, Bhavya.
हाँ जी भव्या बोलिए.
Ma'am, I want to ask that what is the meaning of encroachment of roads and
बेटा हम
streets?
वहां पे आ गए क्या अभी? Did I read that अभी? Did I read that? Did I explain that? Hold your horses, children. Let the teacher complete, and then whatever he has been taught to you, if you have any problem in that, then you can ask. ठीक है? चलिए. So we were talking about collection of rents. Like now, what sort of rents does the panchayat collect? कौन से rents collect करती होगी पंचायत? Can anyone tell me? See,
Taxes.
kind of taxes, but there are some lands which the panchayat owns, right? And the villagers are working on that land for some purpose or the other, right? So for the correction of the rent of that particular places, right? Keeping a record of births and deaths, right? Whenever somebody has been born or whenever somebody has died. I hope you guys know that a certificate is made. Do you all have your birth certificates with you?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have your birth certificate
Yes,
with
ma'am.
you? Similarly,
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
right, just like that only, when a person dies, right, then also we're supposed to go and collect their death certificate as well. There are a lot of legal documents that thing is needed, and who gives us that? Our local government provides us these certificates. Okay, if you're living in a village, then the panchayat will provide you that. If you're living in a city, then the municipal corporation will provide you that. Okay. Then removal of encroachments on roads and sorry. Next is maintenance of burial and cremation grounds. What do you mean by burial and cremation grounds? Yes, Yashmit.
Ma'am, the place where a dead body is buried.
Very good. It's a place where dead body is buried, is known as a burial ground. Cremation grounds are the shamshan ghats, which we have in Hindus, right? Where they burn the bodies. Okay?
Ma'am, but criminational ground is different, no ma'am, because in on that ground the bodies are burnt.
तो वही तो मैंने बोला.
मैम आपने
That's,
उसने बरी बोला था.
that's what I said. The burial grounds are the grounds where they bury the dead bodies, right? And the cremation grounds, we burn the dead bodies, right? Where we do the cremation ceremony. See? When somebody dies. So who maintains these places? It is the
The panchayat.
local government of that area. If it is a village, then the panchayat will do that. If it would be a city, then the municipality or municipal corporation would do that. Yes, Bhavirastogi. Now we have come to that point which you were asking, right? Removal of encroachments on roads and streets. Now, could anyone tell me what's the meaning of encroachments? Guys, you must have seen while passing through the roads, what happens is at times we see a police van has come and then they are just, no, just using their lathis and removing all the, no, all the carts from the streets. Have you seen that? Or they remove all the carts which are lined on the sides of the streets and they ask them to go away. Have you seen it?
Yes, ma'am. We'll see.
This
Yes,
is known
ma'am.
as, yeah, this
Yes,
is known
ma'am.
as removal of encroachment. कभी what happens is अभी there's a Hindi term for that. अभी बहुत ज़्यादा होता था कि even some people's houses have also been broken, right? What happens is when what people do, they put their shops on the sides of the roads, or at times they have also increased like they have occupied some area of the road by building their houses on it, right? So this is known as encroachment. The area doesn't belong to them, right? But what do they do is they start setting up their houses or their shops on that areas, right? This is known as encroachment. इसमें हिंदी में बोला जाता है अतिक्रमण, right? अभी the government is working on अतिक्रमण. The government is removing all such shops or the people living on the government land कि वो land आपको allotted नहीं है, that are roads, that are streets, right? But still you have either constructed a part of your house on it, right? Or you have put up a shop there. These are known as encroachments, right?
Ma'am, the government puts a cross where it's an encroachment and it is to
Hanji,
be destroyed.
Hanji,
The government puts a cross.
yeah, the government hasn't
And
allowed it.
they also break their houses to made it on road.
What?
And government also break their houses who have made it on road.
Your voice is not clear to me anymore.
And I am saying that government also break their houses who have made it on road.
Yeah, I still cannot hear you properly, beta. I'm
Ma'am,
trying my best.
ma'am, he's saying that government also breaks houses.
That is what I told you. Na? Government also breaks houses for the same. Because if those houses have been built on the street, like not the entire house has been built on the lane, right? But a part of that house has been extended on the lane. है ना?
Ma'am,
Then
like happened in Ayodhya. Was like extended all over the lanes,
it
and
has
the
happened in
government
Delhi
also
as well.
broke many houses.
Couple of places.
Ma'am, also some houses near our school was also broken because of that. They built on the government property.
Hmm.
They were broken by BDA.
Okay. Like, yeah, a lot of videos have been circulated and it has been happening quite a lot nowadays. Next is supply of good seeds and fertilizers, right? They ensure that they supply good seeds and fertilizers. Then promoting minor agricultural and irrigation facilities, छोटी irrigation or irrigation facilities the panchayats provide to the farmers so that they can grow their crops properly. Looking after facilities like village grazing ground and nearby फॉरेस्ट राइट जो भी आसपास के ग्रेजिंग ग्राउंड्स हैं या फिर नियर बाय फॉरेस्ट हैं उनको भी देखना उनको भी ठीक से रखना supervision of primary schools all the primary schools are also run under the supervision of the gram panchayat welfare of the weaker sections Supervision over the work of government servants like the Patwari, Lekpal, the police constable, Chowkidar, the vaccinator, and the peon. Right? In सब government servants के work को भी supervise करते हैं, and whether these people are working as they should or not. Is it all clear? Am I clear, everyone? Bhavya Rastogi, where are you? Arav Singh, camera on. Rasya, Ashutosh, Arav
Excuse
Gupta,
me,
Tharv Singh.
excuse me.
Yes. Okay.
If you want to build a house or shop in the government property, so we have to pay the rent to the government.
What are you saying? I didn't understand.
And if we build houses or shops in the property of government, so we have to give rent to the government so that they don't destroy our shop.
I am unable to hear you properly, beta.
Ma'am, he's saying that if we are building a property on a government place, so do we have to pay the rent to them to
See, first of all, you are not allowed to build your private property on a government place, right? उसके लिए तो you need to, like, if only if it is for some welfare of the society or something like that, only then you would be allowed to, right? I don't think you're allowed to build yourself, like build your personal property on a government place just like that. No, it's not allowed.
Okay.
Yeah. So do we have any other doubts? Any other doubts, children? This is looking like a lecture room.
Yes, ma'am.
This is looking like a
Ma'am, but the
lecture room.
seats are less. Ma'am, but the seats are less.
Yeah, the seats are less. I think the best one was the first one.
Economic problem.
So, okay. So now we have the optional or the voluntary functions, right? These functions are optional. Matlab, if they willingly want to do them, then they can do them, right? Chalo. The village panchayat is also expected to perform the functions optional or voluntary. मतलब कर भी सकते हैं नहीं भी कर सकते हैं it's just depend upon them. Management of hospital for cattle, जितने भी cattle हैं उनके लिए भी एक hospital maintain किया जाए. Management of the village market, organizing of recreation and entertainment programs like akhadas and village sports, all these things should be organized by the panchayat. Then opening and maintaining and
Excuse
breeding
me, ma'am.
grounds. हाँ जी.
मैम ये जो ऑप्शनल वॉलेंट्री फंक्शंस है अगर विलेज वाले हैं पंचायत से बोले करने को तो उनको करना पड़ेगा.
हाँ मतलब वो कर सकते हैं ऐसा नहीं कि नहीं किया तो उसके ऊपर उनके ऊपर बहुत बड़ा कोई एक्शन लीगल एक्शन लिया जाएगा. No legal
No,
action.
ma'am.
No legal action would be taken if they're not doing so. But yeah, if they want to keep the people happy and the people have asked them they want their votes next time as well, then they should do it.
Okay, ma'am.
Right. Next is होल्डिंग ऑफ विलेज फेयर्स कंडक्ट कराना. जैसे आपके यहाँ लगता है ना रोटरी मेला, दिस मेला, दैट मेला. सिमिलरली गांव में लगते हैं दिवाली मेला, दशहरा में लगता है ना हमारे यहाँ. ऐसे ही विलेजेस में भी लगते हैं मेले, द फेयर्स. मैनेजमेंट ऑफ हॉस्पिटल, मैटरनिटी एंड चाइल्ड वेलफेयर. ठीक है, इसका भी ध्यान रखना. सेटअप ऑफ ड्रिंकिंग वाटर हट्स. टी हाउस लगते हैं कुछ जगहों पे ना, गाँव में जब बहुत लॉन्ग लॉन्ग डिस्टेंस लोगों को ट्रैवल करना पड़ता है तो गवर्नमेंट क्या करती है, बहुत गर्मी जब होती है तो पियाहो लगवाती है जहाँ पे उन्होंने वाटर टैंक्स लगवाए कि जो लोग रास्ते से जा रहे हैं इन सच हॉट वेदर दे कैन ड्रिंक सम वाटर. ये हमारे सिटी में भी गवर्नमेंट कराती है, राइट?
Ma'am, is this water free or we have to pay for it?
फ्री फ्री फ्री. ठीक है, क्लियर? So have we understood the essential and optional functions of the government?
Yes, ma'am.
चलिए. हाँ जी. चलो. Now let's come to the sources of income, right? Shall we start with that, or do you have any doubts before we go there? Shall we go move further? Shall we?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, the following are the sources of income of the village panchayat. First is taxes on houses and shops, right? The panchayat applies like collects taxes on houses and shops from people, and that's how they get some money. Taxes on fairs and markets, fees from the registration, the sale and purchase of the cattle, income from the sale of public property, government grants, income from trees and garbage, and loans from the bank. Government grants मतलब गवर्नमेंट ने भी जो भी एड्स भेज दी, हेल्प भेज दी, मतलब पंचायत, बाकी पंचायत अपने आप से सब अर्न कर ही रही है, and it also takes loans from banks if needed. ठीक है? Any doubts?
Ma'am, can you explain me third and fourth point?
Third is fee from the registration of sale and purchase of the cattle. Whenever people are selling or purchasing cattle, then they have to get themselves registered, right? So for the registration, they pay some amount as fee that is taken by the panchayat.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes, beta.
Ma'am, can you explain me what are government grants?
गवर्नमेंट ग्रांट्स का मतलब होता है एड्स, मतलब जो गवर्नमेंट ने कुछ पैसा भेज दिया कि आपके यहाँ किसी चीज की जरूरत हो तो आप इससे काम करवा लो, दिस दैट इज ग्रांट्स इज हेल्प.
Okay.
फाइनेंशियल हेल्प गिवन बाय द गवर्नमेंट के अलावा उसको गवर्नमेंट ग्रांट. एनीबडी एल्स?
Ma'am, how do we get income from trees and garbage?
क्या बेटा?
Ma'am, how do we get income from trees and garbage?
They earn from trees and garbage. Trees are being sold, beta, right?
Okay.
Okay, have you ever heard the sound of kabadi wala coming to your house where we sell the unnecessary things to them? Right, so few things are also being sold, the few things, the garbage are also being sold, right? That's how they earn. Yes, Yashmit.
Ma'am, earlier we have studied the organization of village panchayat. It was written Naya Panchayat, ma'am. What's that?
Next topic is that only, beta.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. Yes, Panchal.
Ma'am, if another source of income is loan from banks, but they have to repay the
Beta, I cannot
banks,
hear
how
your
is
voice,
that
bache.
income?
Can you please speak a bit louder?
Ma'am, if another source of income is income from so a loan from banks, so they have to repay the loans from banks. So how is
Obviously,
it
beta,
income?
loan is, yes, loan is some amount which you have taken, once you have to repay it. That is what loan is. Yes, Yashmit.
Ma'am, what happened?
If their annual budget is very less and they cannot do the essential functions, so ma'am, do they take
If they feel like the annual budget is very less, then they can always request the government to give them some more, and that is what, when the government gives them, is known as government grants. And even if they feel that no, still we need more funds, then they can take some loans,
okay,
right?
ma'am.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes, beta.
Ma'am, what will happen if a person does not repays his loan?
Beta, then you know, when you go to the higher classes and you study the entire process, whenever you go to take loan, right? First, you need to keep something as collateral, right? For example, you need to either keep the papers of your family, gold, anything, which in case you're unable to pay the loan, the banks can sell and can get back their money from. You also give numbers of the people who are your guarantors, right? And in case you are not being able to pay your loan, then they'll go to that person, they'll ask them for it. Okay, so banks are very particular about it. They never let anybody go out like this. For example, you have taken loan from the bank and you have kept your papers of your house, right? Or keys of your car. Then what will happen is, if you have not paid the loan back, then they can either take your car or they can seal your house and then sell it further, auction it out so that they can get their money back. Okay. Now shall we come to Nyaya Panchayat, kids?
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am.
Yes, Athar, are you asking something?
Yes, ma'am.
बोलिए.
Ma'am, sometimes, ma'am, in many countries, like ma'am, people take loan and they do not have enough money to pay it. So ma'am, they leave the country and they wait somewhere else. So ma'am,
Then a case is
so
a
ma'am,
case gets lodged against them. In such a case, legal action has been taken, and whenever they will be caught, right, they have to pay very strict penalty, and they may also be asked to serve some sentence in prison.
okay, ma'am.
हाँ जी. Yes,
Ma'am,
Sarthak.
can you
बोलो बेटा.
and
Anybody
can you
else?
fourth point, income from the sale of public property?
Income from the sale of public property, right? कोई भी public property है, right? उसकी कहीं पे भी sale हो रही है, so some sort of tax comes to the government as well, right? या फिर कोई public property को उन्होंने बेच दिया जो कि public property थी, ये government के अंदर थी, and they have sold it for some other purpose, then also they'll get money. For example, they have sold a park, right? They have sold a well, something like that. ठीक है? चलो. Now let's talk about the Nyaya Panchayat, right? Nyaya means justice. In many states, Nyaya Panchayats have also been formed. बहुत सारे states में न्याय पंचायत भी बन चुकी है. Generally, there is one न्याय पंचायत for 3 to 4 villages. 3-4 villages के लिए कितनी न्याय पंचायत होती है? Only one.
One.
Yes, Sarthak. You're saying something? You've raised your hand.
No, ma'am. Am
Okay.
I having?
Ma'am, that hand is of Yashmit.
Okay. Yes, Yashwin. Sorry. Yes, Yashwin.
Ma'am, I forgot to lower my hand.
Okay. Right. So generally there is Nyaya Panchayat for 3 to 4 villages. The village पंचायत elects members for the न्याय पंचायत के जो members होते हैं वो village पंचायत ही elect करती है, and it is given the authority to perform certain judicial functions. कुछ जो judges judicial functions होते हैं, न्याय पंचायत उन functions को perform करती है. It deals with the minor cases of trespass, theft and other petty crimes. Petty means small crimes, right? कोई ऐसे तो चला
Ma'am,
गया था
what is
नहीं.
trespass?
Trespassing, it means going somewhere where you're not allowed to, right? Then theft or छोटे छोटे
Like
crimes के लिए.
government office.
Yeah. Then for small disputes, no lawyers are needed and thus these are settled quickly. आपने देखा होगा ना, usually we have seen this in movies कि गांव में पेड़ के नीचे सब लोग बैठे हुए हैं सरपंचेस, and then they're coming to resolve their issues. Have you seen in movies and all? देखा है ऐसे?
Ma'am,
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
है ना?
ma'am.
So have you ever seen lawyers engaged in this affair, in these affairs? क्या वो lawyers लेके आते हैं
No,
लोग?
ma'am.
No, ma'am.
No,
No,
ma'am.
ma'am.
They
But
bring their
lawyers नहीं चाहिए.
sarpanch.
Yeah. Only they
And
just come.
sometimes even
There is-
people who can fight proper.
ma'am, ma'am, many times there is a person which have files.
What बेटा?
Ma'am, in many panchayats, we have seen in movies that there is a person who have files kept in his hand,
Yeah. Okay.
folder.
So
What is his?
yeah, could you please speak properly? I cannot hear. Let's keep your mic a little close.
Ma'am,
हाँ बोलो.
ma'am, in many movies we have seen if there is panchayat or any village movie about that there is a panchayat.
So could you please explain your question?
Ma'am, I want to say that there is a person in panchayat which have many files in folders. What is his function?
Patwari, or it could either be Patwari, it could either be that person would be the secretary, right? That is a government officer appointed by, that is a person appointed by the government who maintains the records of the panchayat, manages the balance sheet of the panchayat. पंचायत क्या काम, पंचायत ने क्या काम किए क्या नहीं किए, वो सबको नोट डाउन करना, उन सब चीजों का एक रिकॉर्ड बना के रखना, इट इज द जॉब ऑफ द सेक्रेटरी। ठीक है, जस्ट लाइक वी डिस्कसिंग द पंचायत सीरीज यस्टरडे ना, उसमें भी द उसे हिंदी में सचिव कहते हैं, सचिव, सेक्रेटरी इज नोन एज सचिव इन हिंदी। ओके, चलिए, सो significance of village panchayat क्यों important है? In the light of the above discussion, we realize that village panchayats play a very important role. They help the people in solving their own problems and thus reduce the burden of the government. They provide the first lesson in democracy by giving village voters a chance to elect their panchayat. तो सबसे पहला चांस उन्हें अपने आप को रिप्रेजेंट करने का वहीं पे मिलता है. They realize what democracy is like, right? They understand it. They are the primary centers to impart education, cooperation, and self-help. They teach villagers to be self-dependent, that is, to develop their own resources. They are the basis of Panchayati Raj, right? And they help to establish democracy at the grassroots level. Right, kids? Any doubts in any of these?
What does grassroots level means?
At the lowest level. Okay, any other doubt, children? Last topic of the chapter, panchayats and the state government, right? So panchayats are working under the state government, which can frame rules to regulate their working, right? The state government frame rules that how the panchayat should work, what can they do, what they cannot. Sarthak, attention. Sarthak Agarwal, पिटाई हो जाएगी बेटा. घर वालों से मम्मा को फोन करके बोलूंगी the child is talking, please deal with him. Okay, next is it can also appoint panchayat inspectors to supervise and check their work, right? कुछ inspectors appoint कर सकते हैं जो who will go and check the work of the panchayat workers. The state government gives grants and loans to the panchayats. Loans और grants देते हैं पंचायत को कि लो आप काम करो अपना for this money. If its work is not satisfactory, then the district authorities can be directed to supersede it. Right? जो DCs होते हैं, district magistrate होते हैं, if they feel that the panchayats are not working properly, then they can go and intervene and they can just pass their rulings. Okay, the state election commission is responsible to conduct the elections of the panchayats. Like we know that we have election commission in our country which is responsible for the elections everywhere. So here also we have the state election commission which is responsible to conduct the elections of the panchayats. The panchayats are a strong link in the system of panchayati raj which has been used in our country. Right, kids? You have to make these flow charts. The one given on page number 27 and also the one given on page number 23. Okay, in your notebooks and do the new words. Yes, Yashmit.
Ma'am, then we can also say that the local government is under the state government, ma'am, because
Obviously, we have that is why we call it a vertical system, right? If we talk about legislature, executive, and judiciary, these are a part of the horizontal system, right? Okay, we call it horizontal system of power sharing because executive, judiciary, and legislature, all three of them are at the same level. It's just they have different functions. Rasya, it's just that they have different functions, right? But they are at the same level. Whereas if we talk about central government, state government, and local government, they are in a vertical system of power sharing where central government has the most power, state government has powers lesser than the central government, and local government has the least power. But इसका मतलब ये नहीं कि completely subordinate है उनके. They also work independently, है ना? ऐसा नहीं कि सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट के बिल्कुल बिना बोले स्टेट गवर्नमेंट कुछ नहीं कर सकती. नहीं, स्टेट गवर्नमेंट के पास कुछ खुद की पावर्स भी हैं एंड कुछ चीजों से सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट से पूछ के करनी पड़ती है. ठीक है?
okay, ma'am.
हाँ जी वांशु.
After a panchayat is dissolved, so a new panchayat is also elected by voting only in the middle of
हाँ, मैं वो
the time.
हाँ जी बताइए. Any other doubts? No? Clear? All clear, children?